I don't think I need to tell Erika that.
Yeah.
Erika is very shrewd. She's very smart. And the question was, what do you know? And she was like, I know everything. The world is about to discover that Erika is one of the most exceptional, amazing women you're ever going to meet.
Finally, they land in Provo. The plane doors open, and the first person he sees is Erika Kirk. Suddenly, all that built-up anxiety releases when he meets her on the tarmac and boo-hoo cries in her arms. The exact word he used was collapsed.
You're going to come for Erika Kirk. You're going to start having to go through me, Blake, and the rest of us, because I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of Charlie's widow getting attacked senselessly.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, Andrew Kolvet, who is the spokesperson for TPUSA and executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, which in my opinion should be renamed to something more fitting, like the TPUSA family and their mother Erika Kirk, or the Grifters, allegedly, or something along those lines. I digress. So he married Kaitlin Lopez on October 19th, 2013 in Venice, California. However, recent reports suggest that after 13 years of marriage, his wife Kaitlin filed for divorce in April of 2026. I have to specify here that all of this is alleged. I tried to find official reports that would prove that Andrew is getting a divorce, but all I could find was what Project Constitution wrote on Twitter. A TPUSA insider is claiming that Kaitlin Kolvet, wife of longtime TPUSA spokesman Andrew Kolvet, has allegedly filed for divorce after 13 plus years of marriage. According to this April 2026 article, so he's referencing an article which I don't know if it's reliable. I will link it down below so you can check it out yourself. She is citing inappropriate relationships with colleagues at work, specifically pointing fingers at an alleged affair involving Erika and Andrew. This is all alleged. We have no proof that this actually happened. I do not know how the article obtained this information. Nevertheless, it's very interesting, okay, hearing how Andrew stood up for Erika right in the beginning, how they allegedly lied to protect each other, and how she said that he went rogue, but then she was orchestrating all of these attacks against Candace. And she's still working with him. She didn't fire him. She didn't even fire Dan Flood, who was the security for Charlie.
Have you guys had a conversation on the board and just C-level executives of the company? Have you guys talked to Eric about that, just like looking out for opportunists that are going to be circling around her at this point?
I don't think I need to tell Erika that.
Yeah.
Erika is very shrewd. She's very smart. She's very sharp. A great story. I can't really tell you who this was. It was a very important person. And it happened within hours of the news. And the call goes in, she takes it, and the question was, what do you know? And she was like, I know everything. Because she did, because Charlie would go home and they talked, and they talked. And he would bounce ideas off of her. And she really was this support to him. And the world is about to discover that Erika is one of the most exceptional, amazing women you're ever going to meet. What's amazing about Erika is that she was so happy to defer to headship, to the leadership of Charlie Kirk in the household at Turning Point USA. But that is not to say that she is not capable of leadership. And so she knows everything. She knows who to trust, who not to. She knows who to embrace. She knows who's going to be the allies in the fights ahead. And you can rest assured that Erika Kirk is up to the task.
Continuing Project Constitution's tweet, Andrew Kolvet has scrubbed a lot of his and his wife's personal data from the internet, and if a divorce case was filed, it's very likely it would be sealed so the public wouldn't see it anyway. Then he asked Andrew to please deny or confirm the story and comment on it publicly, but so far he didn't release any statements To anyone close to the Kolvet family, if you know anything about the current state of their marriage, please reach out. You can DM me privately or email at projectconstitutionvideos@gmail.com. We're simply seeking transparency and the truth, nothing more. Link to their full article is in the comments. Drop your thoughts below, and I will link that article in my description so you can check it out yourself. As I've already said, the reason why people believe this might be true is because Andrew Kolvet has transferred their residential property into a trust on January 24th, 2026. So public records from Santa Barbara County show that him and his wife have quietly moved their residential property into a trust back in January. And this matters because placing a home in a revocable living trust means that if something happens to Andrew, like death, incapacity, jail, or otherwise, control of the property immediately passes to a successor trustee, someone he chooses, without going through the public probate court. It also means that no court oversight, no delays, no public disclosure of who inherits or controls the asset. It is a perfectly legal estate planning move that millions of homeowners use, but it also ensures that in a crisis, the keys to a valuable real estate stay in trusted hands, out of reach of courts, creditors, or public scrutiny. This was published on Thought Criminals 9 on Instagram. That's their handle, and you can go and check it out yourself. I'm gonna link it in the description as well. And the person who published it asked at the end, is this smart financial planning for a high-profile conservative communicator or preparation for a day when someone else needs to quietly take the reins? Either way, the paperwork is public. The control isn't. Any thoughts? Could this mean that he also fears for his life, or he thinks he's going to jail? I'm not from the US, so I don't know how these things work there. If you know more about why people do what he did, share your thoughts or experience in the comments below. Regarding his divorce allegation, he still hasn't come out with a statement, and on his Twitter, it says that he's a Christian, a proud husband and a father, and a TPUSA spokesman, executive producer of the Charlie Kirk show, and a son of Nevada American, and a traitor, allegedly. In my opinion, you seem very sus. Instead of releasing a statement to dispute the claims about him getting a divorce, he is publicly endorsing Erika. Once again, at Hillsdale, we had our graduation ceremony, and Miss Erika Kirk was our speaker. She gave a fine talk, but she did something else very few speakers do. She stood for 2 hours and shook the hand of every single graduate. 420 people she had never met, just because. Thank you, Erika. Okay, they are trying to, I don't know, present her in a good light, and I decided not to make a video on her, graduation ceremony speech because, I don't know, I'm just tired of hearing her speak. I just need to take a break from her speeches and interviews. However, I am going to try and upload a video tomorrow on her and Charlie speaking about their kids and why they decided not to tell anyone that she was pregnant. So stick around for that, and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and ring that notification bell because it will notify you when I upload this video tomorrow. And continuing with Andrew making a fool out of himself, he also published an update about the Tyler Robinson's trial. He said that cameras will be allowed, and preliminary hearing was delayed from the end of May to June 6th to 10th. Big win on cameras, hate the delay, but much shorter than the 6 months the defense was asking for. And my question to you, Andrew, is why the rush? Why do you want to hurry everyone and everything in this case? Why do you want to convict Tyler Robinson so badly when you know that you gave the defense a lot of information that they could not process by the date that you wanted the trial to begin? Why all this mischievous behavior and, trying to screw people over? Why all the hurry? Don't you want the real killer to be caught? And also, when are you going to release the text messages in which Charlie said that he was going to be killed, so we can see who was he referring to? Who was he afraid of? You're just not telling us. And also, why did Mikey McCoy tell Candace that you should be investigated? Here is a video of Mikey McCoy looking at Erika at this weird prayer reading. I don't know what that was. As I've said, I'm not from the US, so I don't know what you guys are doing. I just know it's weird. And it feels like she shouldn't be there.
What are two clips that give off the same energy?
Unadulterated loathing. If you notice a resemblance, that is our daughter Samantha. She and I moved out here in 2016 because she had an agent and manager that wanted her in LA. I was 47 with a record and no plan at all. But look at me now.
Another reason why people suspect that he really might be getting a divorce is because of the hug that he had with Erika. Here is Candace explaining all of it.
I had told you all that I spoke to Andrew Kolvet on September 10th and the immediate days thereafter, and he specifically told me something that became problematic down the line. It wasn't problematic when he told me, it became problematic down the line. He told me that he was on a massive plane all by himself. I was under the impression it was a G5 or a G6, and he was, after Charlie got shot, racing to Provo, alone on this plane, with no one to speak to, with anxiety building inside of him. Finally, they land in Provo. The plane doors open, and the first person he sees is Erika Kirk. Suddenly, all that built-up anxiety releases when he meets her on the tarmac and boo-hoo cries in her arms. The exact word he used was collapsed. He collapsed into Erika's arms. And when he told me this, painted a picture in my mind and thought about it of like, wow, could you imagine being on a plane all by yourself, a massive plane, you got this G5 to yourself and you got no one to talk to, and then suddenly you see someone and it's the first time you really acknowledge that Charlie's dead, right? On that conversation, I am 10,000% certain, okay? I was also put immediately under the impression that it was Charlie's plane. So I was then surprised when Andrew's story down the line seemed to shift to me, and it became that he was with his wife flying from Santa Barbara. Wife? No, that just can't be right. I said this instantly. I was locked in emotionally due to the adrenaline of everything that was going on those days. Andrew told me his wife asked if he wanted her to then fly to Utah, and he told her, of course, okay? A conversation that I registered as his wife having flown separate and later from him. In fact, I was so convinced that I did not miss on this, that I heard Andrew and understood him correctly, that they had flown separately, that it was among the highest priority items for me when I had the opportunity to sit down with Erika Kirk and Justin Strife. I had very few questions, and one of them was pertaining to the planes. I asked them who flew on each plane on that day, and more specifically, I said, did Andrew fly with his wife? I did not tell them about the tarmac hug. I kept that card close because I was going to be able to determine whether or not they were lying to me about who flew on which planes if I just didn't tell them that I knew about this tarmac hug, right? Justin Strife told me that he booked the planes. He said, I booked the planes. I'm paraphrasing here. He was like, and Andrew's wife was supposed to be on the plane, but I don't know if she got on it. Let me double check, he said. I'll get back to you and I'll double check. And he jotted down as something to get back to me. And he did eventually get back to me. He says, later, the next day or so, he texts me, says she was on the plane. And And yeah, his excuse was like, I'm not sure because even though I scheduled her, sometimes, it was such a crazy day, things could have changed and maybe she found her own way there in the end. But of course, I looked at Erika, expecting her to pipe up and say, yes, she most definitely did fly with Andrew. You put that pencil down, Justin. I know, of course, that she flew with Andrew because we met on this tarmac and had this hug and cried. But no, Erika blanked me. She did the Erika thing, the eye. She stood there. Erika is the person who should have been able to answer that question instantly. It is not every day that you have a boohoo cry on a tarmac with a married man while his wife is standing behind him on the day of your husband's assassination.
Why wasn't your wife on that plane with you, Andrew? Was she ever in Utah with you? I think not. I think it was just you and Erika and the rest of the TPUSA family. And I don't know, the fact that Erika Kirk said that Andrew went rogue, but she's still by his side. That's all you need to know about their relationship, in my opinion. She's not firing him. She's not firing anyone. Because this is TPUSA 2.0 with Charlie in her heart and money on her mind, allegedly. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, please. I am almost at 11K subscribers, and it would mean the world to me if you help me get there sooner. And again, thank you for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.
There's a lot of people online. We hear you that are saying different things and that they're processing their guilt in the way that
Their grief.
Their grief. Thank you, and their mourning in the way that they know how.